Chosen one, listen carefully. This message you about to hear. This is not coincidence. This is not random. You did not find this message. This message found you. The spotlight you never asked for. You feel it every time you enter a room. Eyes linger longer than they should. Silence grows heavier around you. They are watching, even when they pretend not to. You never announced your presence. Yet your energy speaks before your words. People sense something different. And difference attracts attention. Not admiration. Not always hatred. But obsession. The kind that studies. They observe how you move. How you speak. How you stay calm. Like a suspect under a spotlight. Why they cannot look away. Chosen ones disturb comfort. Your existence questions their beliefs. Your peace exposes their chaos. And that makes them uneasy. You remind them of what they buried. Dreams they abandoned. Truths they avoided. Purpose they feared. They watch to understand you. Then to imitate you. Then to compete with you. And finally to oppose you. Because your light is not loud. It is consistent. And consistency terrifies the unstable. They cannot decode you. The silent study. Notice how they remember details about you. Things you never shared. Patterns you never explained. They are collecting data. They replay your words in private. Analyze your reactions. Predict your next move. Not to learn, but to control. To find weakness. To feel superior. Yet they find none. So the study becomes obsession. The obsession becomes frustration. And frustration becomes quiet hostility. Still watching. What it means to be chosen. Being chosen is not privilege. It is responsibility. It is pressure. It is isolation. You were set apart early. Different childhood. Different struggles. Different awareness. While others followed noise. You followed inner truth. While others slept. You questioned everything. Chosen ones awaken through pain. Not applause. Through loss. Not comfort. Signs you cannot ignore. You feel guided even in confusion. Protected even in hardship. Redirected when paths collapse. This is not luck. You outgrow people suddenly. Places feel heavy. Conversations feel shallow. Your soul demands depth. You cannot fake who you are. Masks exhaust you. Truth feels urgent. Even when costly. And no matter how much you shrink, you still stand out. This is the mark. You were never meant to blend in. Why they try to silence you. Your presence exposes lies. Without words. Without effort. Without intention. Systems fear awakened minds. Not loud rebels, but calm truth carriers. You cannot be controlled easily. They mock you subtly. Question your sanity. Minimize your impact. Classic tactics. But deep down they know. If you fully rise, others will awaken too. And control will break. The weight of being watched. You feel it energetically. Pressure in silence. Resistance without confrontation. Eyes without words. It makes you doubt yourself. Overthink actions. Shrink your voice. This is intentional. But awareness breaks the spell. Once you see it, you stop internalizing it. You reclaim your space. You were not paranoid. You were perceptive. There is a difference. Trusted. Why they never win. They study behavior, but miss intention. They copy actions, but lack sincerity. They imitate surface, not essence. They chase results. You embody purpose. While they plot, you grow quietly. While they compare, you align. This is why they fail. Because what you carry cannot be stolen. It is given by God. The awakening moment. One day you stop reacting. Stop explaining. Stop proving. You become still. Stillness sharpens power. Silence strengthens authority. Clarity replaces fear. You see everything. You realize they are behind you, always reacting to your movement, never leading, never ahead. And that truth frees you. You walk forward, unbothered, unstoppable. The calling you cannot escape. You were chosen to remind, not to impress, to awaken, not to dominate. Your role is subtle, but massive. Your impact is quiet, but permanent. You are here to stand firm. When others bend, to speak truth. When others compromise, this is not ego. This is duty. And duty requires courage. You have it. Final awakening message. If they are watching you this closely, it means you matter. If they study you, it means you laid. Do not dim your light. Do not explain your soul. Do not fear their attention. It confirms your calling. Stand taller. Walk slower. Speak with intention. You are protected. If this message spoke to you, like this video. Comment that you are awakened. Subscribe to return to awakening. And step fully into who you were chosen to be, the psychology of their obsession. They pretend not to care, but their behavior betrays them. Silence becomes surveillance. Distance becomes attention. They notice your smallest shifts. A change in tone. A pause in speech. A new boundary. Because when you evolve, their illusions crack. Your growth threatens their excuses. So they monitor you. Not to support, but to stay ahead. To anticipate. To protect their fragile sense of control. When envy hides behind curiosity, they ask questions disguised as concern. They probe masked as friendliness. They smile while calculating. This is not coincidence. True curiosity uplifts. Envy dissects. One wants to learn. The other wants leverage. You feel drained after interactions. Heavy without explanation. This is energetic theft, not imagination. Your spirit notices before your mind does. Always trust that signal. It has never betrayed you. It never will. The burden of seeing too much. Awakening sharpens perception. You read between words, between gestures, between silences. You notice contradictions, patterns of insecurity, unspoken resentment, hidden agendas. This sight is a gift, but also a burden, because pretending ignorance becomes impossible. So you withdraw, not from fear, but from clarity. And they feel that shift. Why you're calm, infuriates them. They expect reaction, emotion, defense, explanation. But you give composure, stillness, measured words, silence. Your calm denies them satisfaction. No chaos to feed on. No weakness to exploit. No drama to report. This frustrates them deeply. Because power they cannot provoke is power they cannot control. And they know it. The loneliness of the path. Chosen ones walk alone often. Not because they want to, but because alignment demands it. Not everyone can follow. You lose connection suddenly, without arguments, without closure, just distance. This is divine filtering, not punishment. Space is being created for something greater. Loneliness sharpens purpose. It forces inner dialogue. It strengthens self-trust. It prepares you when they turn others against you. Watch how narratives change. Stories twist subtly. Intentions are questioned. Character is doubted. This is projection. They export their darkness onto your light. Classic defense. But truth does not rush. It waits. It reveals itself in time. Always. You do not chase validation. Your consistency speaks louder than any rumor ever could. Remain steady. The power of non-reaction. Reaction feeds them. Emotion empowers them. Explanation entertains them. Silence starves them. Non-reaction is mastery. It shows emotional authority. It signals inner alignment. It ends games. You choose when to speak, how to act, where to invest energy. This is sovereignty. And sovereignty unsettles those who rely on manipulation. They feel exposed and powerless the moment you outgrow their reach. One day their watching stops, not because they healed, but because they can no longer keep up. Your frequency shifts. Their access fades. Their influence weakens. Their relevance disappears. Naturally, you did not defeat them. You transcended them. Without effort, without conflict. This is the true victory. Elevation without revenge. Growth without announcement. Freedom without permission. The invisible shield around you. There are moments you should have fallen. Moments where plans against you were set. Moments where traps were carefully arranged. Yet you walked away untouched. This is not chance. This is protection. An unseen barrier moves before you, redirecting what was meant to harm. They feel it too. That something blocks their intentions. That their efforts dissolve. This confuses them deeply. The chosen are guarded, not from struggle, but from destruction. There is a difference. Why their attacks become subtle. Direct confrontation fails. So they shift strategies. Passive aggression. Backhanded praise. They test reactions quietly. Push boundaries slowly. Observe tolerance levels. Collect responses. But subtle does not mean unnoticed. Your awareness has sharpened. Your discernment is active. Nothing slips past anymore. So you adjust. Not emotionally, but strategically. With wisdom. The price of authenticity. Being real costs relationships. Being honest costs comfort. Being aligned costs approval. Few are willing to pay. You paid early. Through misunderstanding. Through isolation. Through inner conflict. But authenticity compounds. It attracts truth. It repels falsehood. It builds legacy. And those who live behind masks cannot understand this currency. So they study you, trying to decode freedom. When they realize you see them, there is a shift. Energy changes. Eyes avoid yours. Tension rises. They sense exposure. Not through words, but through presence. Awareness is loud. You no longer over-explain. No longer justify. No longer seek approval. This alarms them. Because once seen, Their influence collapses. Illusions cannot survive awareness. Never have. The still voice within. Amid all the watching, all the pressure, all the noise, there is a voice. Quiet, steady, unshakable, guiding. It speaks in intuition, in hesitation, in sudden clarity, in inner knowing. That voice is your compass, not external opinion, not public perception, not fear. Why you were made different. You were not designed to follow crowds. You were designed to shift them. Not by force, by example. Your life is a message. Your choices are signals. Your restraint is instruction. Your courage is contagious. Those watching feel this, even if they deny it, even if they resist it. Truth is felt before accepted. This is why your presence alone activates discomfort. It challenges stagnation. It demands growth. The long game you are winning. They focus on moments. You focus on meaning. They chase appearances. You build foundation. Time is your ally. Consistency is your weapon. Integrity is your armor. Patience is your advantage. While they rush outcomes, you align process. While they react emotionally, you respond intentionally. And slowly, inevitably, the gap widens. Their reach shortens. Your path clears when isolation turns into initiation. There comes a phase where silence surrounds you completely. No applause. No validation. This is not abandonment. This is initiation. The space where strength is forged. The place where identity stabilizes. Here distractions fall away. False attachments dissolve. Dependence dies. Inner authority is born. Many quit here. Chosen ones endure. Because this stay creates unshakable clarity. The test of self-doubt. Even the chosen question themselves. Late at night, in moments of exhaustion, in waves of solitude, you wonder if you imagined it all. If the pressure is self-created. If the path is worth it. This is part of the design. Doubt humbles ego, sharpens discernment, filters intention. It does not stop the chosen. You move forward anyway. Not with certainty, but with conviction. And that is stronger. Why they never confront you directly. Direct confrontation requires courage, and clarity, and self-awareness. Most lack all three. So they whisper, hint, imply, circle. They hope confusion weakens you. That uncertainty slows you down. That isolation breaks resolve. It does not. Because your strength does not come from agreement. It comes from alignment. And alignment does not negotiate. The energy shift others notice. People start acting different around you. Overly polite. Unnaturally distant. Strangely cautious. They feel something changed. Your tolerance lowered. Your standards rose. Your presence intensified. You are no longer accessible. Not emotionally. Not energetically. Not psychologically. This shift protects you. It filters access. It demands respect. Without words. When observation turns into fear. At first they watched with curiosity. Then with comparison. Now with caution. Because you are unpredictable. Not chaotic, but independent. Uncontrolled minds are threatening to controlled systems. They no longer know how to position themselves. Where they stand with you. what influence they have. This uncertainty unsettles them, because once fear replaces control, the dynamic is already over. Power has shifted. Silently, the discipline of restraint. You could expose them, correct narratives, reveal motives, but you don't. Restraint is power, not weakness, not avoidance, but wisdom. You understand timing now, energy conservation, strategic silence, long-term vision. This discipline separates you from reactors, from impulsive speakers, from the unaware. The path narrows for a reason. As you rise, options reduce, crowds thin, noise fades. The path narrows to protect focus, to refine purpose, to strengthen resolve. Only what aligns remains. Everything else falls away. Not violently, naturally. This narrowing is not loss. It is precision. And precision is preparation. When your name is spoken in ROOMS, you never entered. Conversations pause when you arrive. Smiles feel delayed. Energy shifts instantly. You feel it. Your name travels without you. Through assumptions, through projections, through distorted narratives. Some defend you. Others question you. Many obsess over you. Few truly know you. This is the cost of impact. Influence creates discussion. Presence creates reaction. Silence creates speculation. The burden of being misunderstood. You are not cold. You are selective. You are not arrogant. You are grounded. But clarity intimidates those who survive in confusion. Boundaries offend those who benefit from your access. They label you to simplify you. Because complexity requires effort, and effort requires honesty. Few choose that path, so you let them misunderstand. Not out of pride, but out of peace. Explanation is no longer necessary. Why your growth triggers them. Your evolution mirrors their stagnation. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your consistency exposes their inconsistency. This contrast is painful. They are not angry at you. They are angry at themselves. But accountability is heavy. So blame feels easier. They watch to find flaws, to justify resentment, to protect self-image. Still, they find nothing solid. Because growth rooted in truth does not crack under inspection. It strengthens, quietly, the moment you stop seeking approval. Something irreversible happens. Your energy stabilizes. Your posture changes. Your decisions sharpen. You no longer adjust to be accepted. You no longer perform to belong. You no longer dilute truth to maintain connection. This freedom is visible. It unsettles observers. Because approval-seeking is how control is maintained. Once removed, manipulation loses leverage, and they feel it instantly. The difference between attention and respect. Attention is loud. Respect is silent. Attention watches. Respect steps back. Those obsessed seek attention. Those aligned offer respect. You learn to tell the difference. And you choose wisely. You stop explaining to spectators. Stop proving to critics. Stop feeding curiosity. That carries no goodwill. Respect follows boundaries. Not charisma. Not popularity. Not performance. When you realize you were never the problem, patterns become clear. Your story repeats in different rooms. Same reactions. Different faces. This is confirmation, not coincidence. You stop internalizing rejection. You stop questioning your worth. The issue was never your light. It was their readiness. Never your truth. Only their fear of it. This realization frees you deeply. No bitterness. No resentment. Only clarity. The quiet confidence of knowing. You move differently now. Not rushed. Not defensive. Not reactive. You speak when necessary. Listen more than before. Observe without attachment. Act with intention. Confidence no longer needs display. It settles into posture, into tone, into stillness. And those still watching sense the shift. Because certainty cannot be faked when your silence speaks louder than words. You no longer rush to respond. You no longer correct every lie. You no longer chase understanding. Silence becomes your language. This silence unsettles them because it offers no access, no leverage, no reaction. They fill the gaps with assumptions, project intentions, invent meanings, reveal themselves, and you watch calmly, not judging, not engaging, just witnessing truth expose itself. The moment you become untouchable, not emotionally numb, not disconnected, but anchored, rooted. Criticism no longer penetrates. Praise no longer inflates. Opinions no longer steer you. You stand centered. This balance is rare, and rarity attracts fixation. They cannot place you, so they study you harder. But what they don't realize is that centered souls cannot be shaken by external noise. Why your presence changes rooms. You do not dominate space. You stabilize it. You do not demand attention. You redirect energy. Conversations shift depth. Tension surfaces. Truth feels closer. Masks feel heavier. Some feel relief around you. Others feel exposed. Both reactions are revealing. Neither is your responsibility. Presence rooted in authenticity forces alignment or avoidance. And most choose avoidance. When they copy but can't compete, they adopt your phrases, mirror your behavior, study your timing, imitate your discipline. But imitation lacks soul. It cannot replicate essence. It performs without purpose, moves without meaning. You notice it quietly, not amused, not threatened, aware, because what you carry is not a method. It is a state of being, and that cannot be copied. The inner separation, even when surrounded, you feel apart, not lonely, distinct. Your inner world no longer matches external environments. Values misalign. Energy feels foreign. This separation is necessary. It signals transition. Old containers no longer fit. New consciousness. So you detach internally before life rearranges externally. This is wisdom, not coldness. Why they sense you are Eliaving. Not physically, energetically, mentally, spiritually. You are no longer invested in their games, their approval, their narratives. This creates urgency in them, increased watching, heightened curiosity, subtle attempts to reattach. But your direction is set. Your attention has shifted inward. And inward alignment always precedes outward departure. The strength of self-validation. You stop asking, if you are doing enough, if you are becoming too much, if you should adjust. Your validation comes from alignment, from integrity, from inner peace, not applause. This strength is quiet, but immovable. It does not argue. It does not beg. And those who relied on your self-doubt feel the loss immediately. When you stop explaining your path, you realize not everyone deserves context. Not everyone can understand depth. Not everyone hears beyond words. So you stop explaining. Your journey is internal, guided by conviction, refined by experience, not by consensus. Those who need explanations were never meant to walk with you. Those aligned will recognize you. Without instruction, this detachment strengthens clarity. It frees energy. It sharpens focus. It protects purpose. The difference between watchers and walkers. Watchers observe from fear. Walkers move from faith. Watchers analyze outcomes. Walkers trust process. Watchers comment from distance. Walkers commit in silence. Watchers wait for proof. Walkers become proof. You were never meant to be understood by watchers. Your role is movement, not permission. Once you accept this, comparison dissolves. Pressure lifts. Direction stabilizes. When your boundaries become non-negotiable, you stop bending to maintain peace. You stop overgiving to be accepted. You stop tolerating subtle disrespect. Enough becomes enough. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They protect what is sacred. They preserve clarity. Some react with offense. Others with distance. A few with respect. Each reaction reveals truth. You do not explain boundaries. You embody them. An embodiment enforces itself. The energy of detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means freedom from control, freedom from expectation, freedom from reaction. You care without attachment, observe without absorption, engage without depletion. This is mastery. Detached energy confuses manipulators. They cannot hook into it. They cannot provoke it. They cannot drain it. So they watch from afar, still curious, still unsettled, still powerless. When you realize time is on your side, urgency fades, patience grows. You stop racing invisible competitors. You stop chasing validation. You understand timing now. Divine packing, organic unfolding, nothing forced. Those watching rush. They fear being left behind. They sense distance increasing, momentum shifting, and you remain steady. Because when alignment leads, time becomes an ally, not an enemy. The calm that comes before the next rise. There is a quiet phase. Less noise, less reaction, less visibility. This calm is deceptive. It is not stagnation. It is consolidation. Energy gathering itself. Internally, structures strengthen. Vision sharpens. Intent stabilizes. Direction locks in. Those still watching feel it. Something is coming. They don't know what, but they know it's real. The moment you step fully into authority, there is a shift you cannot miss. You stop asking internally. You stop hesitating spiritually. You decide. Decision is power. Indecision leaks energy. And once you decide who you are, the world adjusts. Those watching feel it instantly. Your spine straightens. Your voice steadies. Your presence commands without force. Authority is not loud. It is settled, and settled souls are impossible to manipulate. Why this message found you now? Not earlier, not later, now, because you are ready to stop shrinking, ready to stop explaining, ready to stop doubting the signs, ready to claim the calling. You have outgrown observation, outgrown surveillance, outgrown spectatorship. It is time to lead your own life fully. This message is confirmation. You are not imagining it. You are not alone. You are awakening deeper. The responsibility of knowing who you are. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you know, you cannot pretend. Responsibility replaces comfort. Integrity replaces approval. Purpose replaces fear. This is the exchange. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. But you will respect yourself. And that changes everything. Chosen ones answer the call, even when the path is heavy. Especially then. If this message resonated deep inside you, do not ignore it. This is your moment of alignment. Like this video to confirm your awakening. Comment "I am chosen" if you feel this truth in your spirit. Subscribe to return to awakening and walk this path with those who see beyond the surface. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay awakened. Do not step back into who you used to be. You are being watched because you are becoming who you were always meant to be.